Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome once again to another episode of That Prison Life 11, and I'm your host, JR, and once again, we're coming at you with that good stuff, and today what we're going to be talking about is prison conversation, the way we talk to get around the guards. Uh, most times is we would prefer to go through something called a kite, and that's just basically what you're doing is getting a piece of paper and writing it down. Like for a lot of the Mexicans, we do it in Aztec. We'll write in Aztec. We have a certain code of language that we use, which I'm not going to get too deep in because I don't want to just over express something and get myself in the mix. So what I'm saying is this is we speak something called Nahuatl, which is Aztec, but the other way that regular normal inmates speak is like I said, they do a kite and they just speak in English or whatever, and then they'll get something called a fishing line. And 9 times out of 10, what they do is they pull their the mattress is made of like some type of fabric that you could pull the strings. You could pull the strings and like a sewing string comes out of the bottom of the mattress. And what we'll do is we'll attach that usually to a thin, because the bottom of the door is about this this high, sometimes smaller or bigger, varies. And what you got to do is you got to put it on the floor, swing your line around, or and it'll go sideways, or you could just throw it forward and have them meet you to kind of like this. But 9 times out of 10, what you want to do is throw it, swing it to where it goes directly in front of their doors. But if that ain't working, if they're too far away, what you're gonna do is you don't want to be yelling out the bean holes, or the bean hole is where they feed you food, your food port. You don't want to be yelling and putting your business out there like that. That's not something that you want to do. That's not the respectful way to conduct business. 9 times out of 10, especially for me, the majority of time I was locked up, I was in a super max pod or a STG pod, security threat group pod, or a levels pod, where I had to phase back up to get back to general population because of me being a shit stick, a cagapalo, a hardhead. And anyhow, so what it is what we learned how to do was sign language. And you could, like, there's in some states, like I said, I've been in West Virginia, Oklahoma, New Mexico. I've done county time in California. There's all these places that they have different ways of responding and talking to each other. So with that being said, like some places will throw like ghetto signs, like try to make that look like a, or and then B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, and then Q, R, S, T, U, V, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now that's ghetto sign language. That's what a lot of states use still. And I mean, to keep things hidden after so long, the guards, they get used to seeing you at the window, and they start to want to learn what you're saying, so that they could stand at the picket and they could look up at you from the power station, and they could pretty much kind of know what you're saying, whether if you have a cell phone or if you have drugs or whatever it is you might have, whatever hustle you might have. These guards are on top of it, so you got to be careful. And so when I got to Oklahoma, like I said, I was in I didn't say this, but I was in a supermax, and I was underground for 7.5 years, one man celled, 23-hour lockdown, 1 hour out. But I was in the door behind the door, so I didn't really see people. But before I got to that door behind the door, I was in like a open pod kind of, but still we're all locked down though. We're not like a dormitory. We're all still locked up. We're all behind doors, and we stand at our window. And this is real sign language. So go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. And same kind of the Q's like the last one, kind of Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And that's real sign language. That's what, if a person couldn't hear and they wanted, and the only way you could talk to them was through sign language, and you didn't know how to do sign language. Like there's words that you could do with your hand and stuff. That was just all alphabet. So if you don't know how to do the other words, but you know alphabet, you could pretty much lightweight conversate with them just through alphabet words. But in the middle, like let's say someone's calling you or whatever, you have to go S O M E O N E, someone, and then space is space C A L L I N G, calling space you, period. Someone's calling you, and then they'd be like, all right, who's calling me? So and so, whatever. But that's just basically giving you the kind of the